Welcome to the HOI4 Cup hosted by Strategy Esports. I'm Prussian Prince, the commentator for today's match. You're watching match 2 of the quarterfinals, where we'll be seeing Prussian Prince take on Baddo Spirito. They're both veterans of the Hearts of Iron 4 multiplayer community, and Baddo Spirito is considered to be the best player by many people. All videos will be posted on the official Strategy Esports YouTube channel, and you can also visit the website at strategyesports.com for more information. Remember to follow Strategy Esport on Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date with everything surrounding the HOI4 Cup. Now here, the match has begun. We are currently looking at the first player's point of view, that is Prussian Prince, also known as myself. I'm commentating this as well. Right now you can see that Prussian Prince is working on some division templates, namely infantry templates. So he has made a 2-width template, that is an infantry battalion, and that's about it. Then also making a 10-width template with nothing else for now, no support artillery, which could be a mistake. He's also recruiting a lot of 2-width templates, and he is going to not actually change the priority. Now, he's looking at the factories and how he's supposed to assign them. Back to the view of Baddo Spirito, we're seeing that he is recruiting 40 divisions of 4 widths, and his technology setup as follows: spear firepower, basic machine tools, infantry equipment, and electronic mechanical engineering. Very decent technology setup right now. Back to Prussian Prince. Seeing how he's going to be constructing his factories, definitely going for only military factories, which is a solid choice. You know, like there are other choices like civilians, but that is very risky, and more than likely it's not going to pay for itself by the time that the match is officially over. Again, matches end about they start in April. That is when the war actually starts. So until then, players have time to set up their nations and do whatever it is that they need to do. They must also follow some rules, which is no justifying war goals in any way, shape, or form, no hiring of political advisors, no political focuses, they're not allowed to change their ideology, they cannot exploit or cheat in any way, and they cannot build forts of any kind. So that is very important stuff to keep in mind, because you do not want to be disqualified for breaking the rules, right? So the players need to keep that in mind. And of course, this mod, it does actually change some things. For instance, there are technically only 3 nations in the game, but 2 are playable. So you have the neutral trader, which is unplayable. Basically, that's just a trader nation that players can use to get resources that they need. And then you have 2 nations, Team 1, in this case being controlled by Prussian Prince, and Team 2, again, in this case, being played by Baddo Spirito. So Team 1 and Team 2, they're pretty balanced, but there are some slight differences between them. It shouldn't be too big, though. Like, France has some advantages, and Germany has other advantages. I like calling Team 1 France and Team 2 Germany, right? So that is something to keep in mind. For instance, France has more war support because Germany is the one that declares war. So now, back to the game, we are looking at Team 1's point of view. You can see that there is a focus tree open. It's not currently sure what to pick right now. Could be going for either army effort or industrial effort. Both are solid choices. There we go. Industrial effort is what has been chosen. There's some research to be done still. As you can see, there's an alert up top, which Prussian Prince has not looked at. Now you can see that there is some army assignment going on. We do have a field marshal and a general assigned. And there might be a front line coming up soon. There is the front line. And also back to Baddo Spirito. He is now checking out what Prussian Prince is doing in terms of focuses. And he's also going to be potentially quick deploying his 4-width troops. But now Prussian Prince is actually deploying all of his 2-widths, which is a curious choice because normally you want to deploy the 2-widths later, not at the start. You want to recruit your very good troops at the start and then deploy your really bad troops quickly later to bolster your numbers. So this is not an optimal way to do things. As you can see, He has actually deleted them. We'll see what he's going to do next. Quick deploying them again. This is a mistake. Should not be doing this, but there he goes. Now you can see the technology for Baddo Spirito. It's going very nicely. He is once again checking out the focuses and the differences between the nations. Has actually 8 factories on artillery and the rest are on guns. Not a bad idea. He is doing industrial effort, which is the same as Prussian Prince. Both are doing industrial effort. Very standard decision in this matchup. But right now you can see Prussian Prince is going to be using the saved 30 days on to get his superior firepower tech much faster. Isn't going to be too much of a difference though, because Baddo Spirito should be getting the first level pretty quickly anyway. You can see Prussian Prince is quick deploying more 2-wids, which again is a mistake because 4-wids need to be trained first so that they gain actual experience, because you do want your 4-wids to be able to dish out damage, and that requires them to be higher in terms of veterancy. So you do not want them to be green whatsoever, not the basic level, because that's just going to make sure that you miss out on a lot of damage. That's not a good thing. You definitely want as high damage output as you can with the 4-wids, because that is your main punching force. So now you can see that Baddo Spirito has actually deployed his first 40 divisions, which are all elites, by the way. 40 divisions of elites, very good decision here. Probably gonna indeed split them up into 2 armies. Not a bad decision at all. This is very good, because 24 widths makes it so that you can attack with them into a single tile, and you're not taking any... You're basically using up all the combat width, because attacking from one tile into one tile is essentially 80 combat width, because you're not attacking from multiple tiles. That's a very good way of doing it. You actually have a lot of soft attack with 4-width with support artillery, which is what Baddo Spirito is using right now. So we can see that Baddo Spirito is training his 40-widths. As for his 2-widths, doesn't really care about them in terms of training, which is fine. You really want the 4-widths to be trained as well as they can be, because the 2-widths, they don't really matter as much as long as they're on the field. They're just there mostly for org wall purposes. You see that Baddo Spirito is just quick deploying his 2-widths to the front line, which is really what he should be doing. So right now Baddo Spirito is playing a pretty efficient game. He has 44 widths with support artillery deployed and 42 widths. We're probably going to be seeing up to 60 to 102 widths by the time the war actually starts, because it is currently March. There's going to be some time before April. However, again, Prussian Prince does have more troops, but they're all under one general, and they're all 2 widths for the most part, I believe. So that is a mistake, because Prussian Prince cannot attack. All he can do with this template is just hold. So we'll see how long he can hold for. Looks like now he is going for his interwar artillery, which is going to be really good, by the way, because that helps a lot when you have units with support artillery. But Prussian Prince doesn't have any right now, and of course he is training his divisions. Baddo Spirito is, and they're almost done, or at least he has to stop training them soon because it is almost April. And back to Prussian Prince, we can see again he is quick deploying troops. Not a bad decision right now, but he really should have deployed his stronger template first and then worked on the 2 widths, because the 2 widths you can spam a lot of them out by the start of the war. I mean, in the last 1 or 2 months. So definitely should have trained the 4 widths first. So this was a mistake. Back to Baddo Spirito, you can see that he is definitely going to go for radio right now. Not a bad choice. Radio is actually very, very important here, because you definitely don't want to lose provinces to missing reinforced chance. So very good idea to get radio here. See that he has actually gotten more 2 widths. He's up to 110, so he's actually... And he's still getting more. And finally, the declaration of war has happened. We'll see what Baddo Spirito can do right now. Back to Prussian Prince's point of view, though. He is actually he has more troops than Baddo Spirito by far, but in terms of quality, they're actually much worse. There's not a single division that Prussian Prince has currently deployed that can actually meddle with what Baddo has. So Prussian Prince cannot attack right now. All he can do is hold. He's trying right now, but he cannot do that much. You see that Baddo Spirito is afraid of a potential naval invasion, so he has actually sent some troops to guard ports. Now Prussian Prince has realized a mistake that he has made, which is not actually producing artillery at the start. That is not ideal, because artillery in this case, especially support artillery, is phenomenal. Does a lot of work here. So Prussian Prince is finally adding support artillery to his 10 width, but 10 width is not the best template to start things off with. It's way too high width. Baddo Spirito has the right idea, which is using 4 width. I mean, 10 width is fine, but it's easier to micro technically, but it's definitely not ideal, at least not for the start of the game. So again, the attacks from Baddo are coming in with his 4 widths. You can see that he has a lot more soft attack than Prussian Prince's divisions, because again, Baddo has 4 widths with support artillery, and Prussian Prince has 2 widths with no support artillery. And of course, because Prussian Prince has more troops in the tile, you know, because his width is lower, he needs more troops to cover the same combat width, which means that Prussian Prince gets a higher stacking penalty, and that's not good for Prussian Prince at all. So right now he is noticing that he has actually way too many troops, and he needs more quality rather than quantity. So it looks like he's gonna be changing some templates, but again, a mistake that he's doing here is that he has everything under one general. That's not how you should do it. You should have all of your terrible troops under one general using a front line, and your proper troops should have different generals which you control manually. That is how you should be doing it. Right now you can see that Baddo Spirito is working on the next machine tools, and he finally has the next infantry equipment, which he's going to switch to. Infantry equipment is definitely very, very important here as well, because you basically only have infantry, so buffing up your infantry equipment is very important. Now, as you were able to see previously in some of these battles, what you can notice is that divisions don't actually have high defense. In fact, they have no defense, and that's because the mod makes sure that there is no defense for units. There's a modifier with minus 200% defense. There's a plus 200% factory output as well, and plus 200% division speed, so even infantry moves at 12 kilometers an hour. So if you're not careful, somebody can snake your country very, very quickly, and if you lose a tile, yeah, things can get very dicey very quickly. Here you can see that, again, Prussian Prince's army is able to hold, but in terms of losses, we haven't seen the casualties yet, but it's very likely that he's actually lost a lot more than Baddo, because Baddo's units just have slightly more soft attack. Not slightly more soft attack, actually a lot more soft attack. Baddo is preparing the next wave of 20 widths here. This is not a bad idea at all. Having 20 widths in production is very good. Look, you can see that Baddo has 28 soft attack, and Prussian Prince's units have like 3 soft attack. So Prussian Prince definitely going to be more efficient here by a mile. Baddo Spirito will be more efficient. We'll see. Again, now this time Prussian Prince is looking at the battle and noticing, okay, my units are terrible. I need to fix this. That is probably what he's thinking right now. He is unable to attack from here, but he's going to be switching some of these units. But the fact that he started artillery later is very bad for him, because he was unable to get efficiency on them, and he missed out on a lot of days of production. That was definitely very bad for Prussian Prince there. But again, his build is more tailored to surviving, which, you know, he's definitely surviving right now, but it's just not going to work out in the late game, because again, artillery is great for pushing here, and he's just taking so many manpower losses because he just doesn't have the soft attack. So looks like Baddo Spirito is going to go for doctrine effort right now in terms of focuses. Very, very good choice. He's also going to be spending some experience to get the next level of his land doctrine. And he has another stack of 40 widths, and he is that's not a good idea what he's doing right now, because they're not all attacking one tile. Also, they're all green, so potentially he should have waited until they gained experience, but they're still going to trade efficiently, so why not use them as they are anyway. So right now, Baddo Spirito is definitely doing the right thing. You can see that he is he's actually taking care of those units very, very rapidly. Now back to Prussian Prince. You can see he's lacking both infantry and artillery. That's not a very good situation right now. And then finally, Baddo Spirito is starting to push Prussian Prince. I mean, hasn't actually gained the tiles yet, but with all the attacks that Baddo is getting off, those units will start getting vaporized, and you know that is already being seen in the equipment stockpile of Prussian Prince because his units are just not as cost efficient. He's also losing more manpower than Baddo in this case, so that is very, very bad for Prussian Prince right now. He definitely has to get some quality troops on the way, otherwise things could be looking very dicey. Looks like he is just going to continue cycling in troops to make sure that he does not lose his tiles. That is a good move, but we will see if the 10 with you know, higher quality can actually help Prussian Prince out or not. And you can see that Baddo is definitely gonna keep attacking here with these units. That's not a bad idea because that definitely is working out for him right now. Eventually he is going to break Prussian Prince, but it might take some time. I mean, it's already June 36th and he didn't really get a tile, but that's fine because he has higher quality troops, he's trading more efficiently, and he is burning through the equipment of Prussian Prince, and that is very, very good for Baddo right now. Finally, though, you can see that Prussian Prince is starting to get some quality on the field, and that's definitely going to help him trade better, but still, this is potentially a little bit too late. Again, you can see some decent soft attacks starting to go up now on Prussian Prince's side, but he just doesn't have enough troops on that are quality. And again, Baddo does have forwards with support artillery, which are far more efficient than what Prussian Prince has here. And you can see that Baddo has actually applied his battle plan right now. We'll see how efficient it's going to pan out. He's probably going to start... Yeah, he deleted all the orders right now. He might actually just do it manually. See how that's going to play out for him. And his army is a little bit split up right now, so he cannot attack properly. Definitely has to work on that. Again, Prussian Prince, I believe he's actually lost the tile there. That is Ghent. So, good move there by Baddo Spirito to take that tile. So, Baddo Spirito, again, he has 3 armies of forwards. They all have 20 divisions in them. It looks like now that he made the breakthrough, he's going to actually try to push it. And that might be very bad right now. For Prussian Prince, that is. Because once a breakthrough appears, then, you know, either you... there's a very good chance that Prussian Prince loses some very important industry at the very least once there's a breakthrough. Especially because Prussian Prince's units are not really good at offensive purposes except the 10 widths, and he doesn't have enough 10 widths yet. And even the 10 widths, again, not as efficient as the 4 widths of Baddo. So Prussian Prince really has to be careful about not losing any more tiles to Baddo right now. And he's going to switch some more of his 2 widths to 10 widths, but you can see the manpower drop for Prussian Prince very, very quickly right now. This is not what he wants. And look at the manpower for Baddo Spirito. He currently has 1.22 million. And again, the attacks that he's starting are extremely, extremely good for him. He also finally got the interwar artillery, which is excellent for him, because having interwar artillery basically just means that his units have even more soft attack than before, and that is going to help Baddo break through and be more efficient even more. At least Prussian Prince did get what is very important, and that is he gained some new techs. That is radio, I believe he just got, and that is very good for him, but still, that is more of a defensive tool than anything, so that's just going to help him hold for longer. But Baddo, you can see he's pushed to the next style. He is in Kortrijk, and he's also going for the equipment effort, presumably to go for the next artillery. He did actually, he's starting to tech fighters, though. Just a little bit curious. He did get radio as well, and now he's getting a new general because he has another 4 with stack here of 20. So he has another tile that he can attack on. And there he goes. He's almost done with the improved machine tools, which is going to help his industry and the next tile, the next land doctrine tech as well. And Prussian Prince here, he's just doing his best to cycle here because right now efficiency is not going very well for him. He is trying to attack here, and finally you can see the attack values for Prussian Prince are starting to go up because, again, those are 10 widths, so they are much more powerful than the 2 widths, and of course lower stacking penalty, but still I'm not sure if Prussian Prince is going to be able to utilize them effectively here, because this is going to be a little bit rough for him. There we have it though. Pushing to the next style Baddo is. So right now for Baddo, this is looking very good. So far he has played an excellent game. You know, Prussian Prince is being pushed back. There is speed 5 in the game as well, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult for players to micro. In fact, I would argue that it's going to be impossible for them to micro right now. You can see Prussian Prince is trying to encircle Baddo, and if he gets the encirclement off in Ghent, that could be what he needs to turn this game around, but this is extremely hard right now, and his attack into Charleroi is going to be very efficient because Baddo is actually taking multiple combat penalty. However, that's not going to help that much because that's just going to push Baddo out. So what Prussian Prince needs to do is he needs to get some wipes going, and he's not really getting that right now. And he's not even close to doing that, so Prussian Prince has to fix the situation here. And you can see that Baddo is increasing his close air support production, which eventually is going to be, it's just going to be excellent for him. And he's also working on dispersed industry, so right now Baddo is doing the correct thing, because once he has close air support, the units of Prussian Prince will literally start to get deleted, and that will not be good. Prussian Prince is also missing an opportunity to attack from Brussels into Ghent as well, because that would indeed help him break Ghent. He definitely should be doing that right now. I'm not sure why he's not doing it. That's a missed opportunity for him, definitely. And he is defending over here in Leuven and Liège, but again, that's not what he wants to do at all. Looks like he is being very efficient in Ghent though with his units, because Baddo is defending with poor quality troops, so that's a very good move by him. He might take Ghent, but that's going to be a very long time until he actually gets it. And there we have it. Looks like Doctrine Effort 2 is going for Baddo Spirito, and he's going to work on the artillery. And once he has 39 artillery, Baddo's units will just start becoming even stronger than they already are. 39 artillery is just quite a bit more powerful. You can see that Prussian Prince is also going for the equipment effort, but that may not work as well for him. But we will see. So right now, 40 more divisions in queue for Baddo Spirito forwards. He definitely wants to increase his offensive capabilities. And, you know, getting more forwards is the way to go. Looks like Prussian Prince has actually managed to push Baddo Spirito back, or Baddo Spirito retreated because he did not want to take the risk there, which is fine. Baddo Spirito might eventually lose those tiles, but he's pushing into Liège right now, which is actually excellent, because getting that tile is going to mean that he can attack Leuven from multiple angles. And if he gets Leuven, then Brussels might be in trouble, right? So all of a sudden, Prussian Prince is going to have issues around Brussels area, because anyway, what happens in this game is that the person who gets the first state from the other is going to have a huge advantage, because what he can do is he can put new factories on something, right? So, okay, putting more factories on infantry equipment and artillery would be nice, but you can actually put them on something more exotic, right? So say something like close air support or some kind of bomber, right? That would help a lot. And meanwhile, so what happens is that your opponent loses the factories and you gain them. So it's actually a double buff to you, so to speak. So not only are you going to have more factories on infantry equipment and artillery than your opponent, at that point, what's also going to happen is that you're gonna have more factories on something else as well, right? Because if you get more factories from your opponent, might as well just get, close air support or something, right? So right now, Baddo Spirito is playing the late game with those close air support units. Meanwhile, Prussian Prince is getting pushed out of Brussels, and that's not very good for him. You can see his units are still holding Brussels, and they are 10 wins, so he has proper quality there, but he's starting to lose in terms of strength. And again, his units are all under one general, so they are not as efficient as they could be. They're not getting all the proper bonuses. Definitely not a very good thing for Prussian Prince, but the attack in Liège, again, Prussian Prince's units definitely holding out very well there, but he can't just hold, he has to actually attack. That's not good right now. And you can finally see the casualties here, 1 to 3 pretty much in favor of Baddo Spirito. Not a bad idea at all. Not bad trades. So again, Prussian Prince is working on, with just one field marshal and one general, which is far from ideal here. Finally, he's going to attack into this tile, but that's very, very inefficient right now. You can see how terrible those units are at attacking that tile. That is absolutely not working out for Prussian Prince there. And he's going to be supporting Brussels and Leuven, but you can see that he definitely has strength issues on his troops, and Baddo doesn't really have that many issues at all. In the meantime, you can see that Baddo does have a lot of troops in Saarbrücken, 25 of them. See if he's going to attack from there at some point. So Baddo is starting to go with a nice general offensive here, putting quite a bit of pressure on Prussian Prince actually, because Brussels is in a lot of trouble right now. Leuven has been taken by Baddo, very, very good move. And again, this means that Prussian Prince is going to have a lot more trouble pushing Baddo out of there, and he's going to be threatened by that push from Leuven, potentially. We'll see what Baddo Spirito can do with that. So Prussian Prince is pushing in the north here in Ghent. We'll see how effective that's going to be, because right now his units are getting more soft attack, but again, you have to keep in mind that they're 10 wits against 4 wits, so Baddo has more of those in combat, so he's actually the one doing more damage. Now in Liège, looks like there's some combat. Prussian Prince is attacking out of it and also being attacked, so that means that he's taking some multiple combat penalty, which might not be something that he wants to do there. You don't always take multiple combat penalty, but you gotta be really careful when you're attacking if you're also being attacked at the same time. You have to check the battles out and see if that's actually the case, if you're taking the combat penalty, that is. So Baddo Spirito has deployed 60 more elite troops, so to speak, and those are going to be potentially devastating to Prussian Prince if he's not careful. But right now, Brussels is very low, so Prussian Prince is reinforcing it with extra troops. He's trying to push into Ghent, but as you can see right now, it's really not working out for him. Brussels is under a lot of trouble right now. You can see that Baddo Spirito is pushing very heavily around that area, and Baddo Spirito is getting some forests here. He actually managed to push to the left of to the right of Namur, and he is pushing in more and more troops. He's going to push into that forest tile. Prussian Prince does manage to defend there, but he misclicks and does not send troops to the south of that side. That is not a very good move for Prussian Prince, or maybe he's actually just trying to surround the units of Baddo Spirito, but that is a very, very risky move there. He should not be doing it. Absolutely should not be doing it. However, the attacks from Baddo Spirito are actually working out extremely well right now. Those 20 stacks are just dishing out so much damage to Prussian Prince. Very, very efficient right now. And here come more forwards. Going to be ready here, and they're going to be attacking into that stack of 4. And Prussian Prince is more focused around the Ghent area and Leuven, but Leuven? Sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but I'm not from that area, so I don't know how to say it correctly. So right now, Prussian Prince is changing some templates, but changing templates while in combat, not the best idea. And he's down to 170 troops. He has deleted some of them, but it's good to delete some troops when you have too many. But the issue with Prussian Prince is that he does not have the quality that Baddo has, and also I do not believe that Prussian Prince is building close air support, and not building close air support could be a huge issue. One thing for Baddo though is that he might be in a little bit of trouble if he gets surrounded there. He could lose 40 elite troops, but he is going to be fine if he pushes to the right of that possible encirclement, which he is doing right now, and looks like he's definitely going to take that tile, and once he takes it, that'll be fine. And one more important thing here actually is that Baddo Spirito did get Brussels. Getting Brussels means that he has a very nice position from which to attack Prussian Prince, and he's gonna have a lot more industry. And there we go. This is not looking good right now for Prussian Prince because he's lost a lot of land, and in terms of efficiency, he is not looking out, not looking so good. You know, there's an attack into Luxembourg, and Prussian Prince is attacking out of it. Not necessarily the best move. And again, Baddo Spirito is relentless with his attacks, and just look at how much he's doing to Prussian Prince. He's already attacking out of Brussels, and he's going to get the forest tile to the south of it. So definitely being very aggressive here is Baddo, and that is not a bad move, considering it is actually working out extremely well for him. There's an attack into a Luxembourg as well. The southern side is secure for Prussian Prince, but the north and center, it's actually starting to become quite bad for Prussian Prince. He needs to turn the situation around, but we'll see if he has anything to do that with, because he is not actually producing any close air support, which Baddo is. So the longer this game goes, the better it is for Baddo Spirito. He's also going for the next equipment effort, and he's going to have 39 artillery very, very soon. And yes, Prussian Prince is not dead. He is surviving, but he's going to need some excellent micro to come out of this situation. Again, an attack into Luxembourg is happening. He is trying to defend it with his troops. He is succeeding. Like, Luxembourg will not fall, but definitely that province to the right of Namur. Not sure that's going to hold for Prussian Prince, because right now that's just, there aren't many troops there, and he is surrounded there, and even if he holds that, that's not a very important tile. So it looks like Prussian Prince is still going to try and defend it, but again, he's being inefficient there because Baddo is just attacking with more width. Prussian Prince is going to try and get Guerrilla Fighter, but he does not have enough command power, I think, because he tried to get it and it was unsuccessful. More troops in Liège. Baddo is going to start the attack. There we go, into Liège with his forwards. It's another attack in Ghent, and while it does look like Prussian Prince has more soft attack, again, Baddo has lower width troops, so you can get more of them in combat, and in total, he is the one who has more soft attack, not Prussian Prince. So we're now looking at Prussian Prince. He is going for his third tech of the land doctrine. But Baddo now, he has elite troops here, so there's no way he's going to end up losing. He's going to be creating some new commanders and choosing some proper ones here. Because he finally has more troops that he can assign. He has a lot of elite troops now, which he can definitely send into the fray, and we'll see what Prussian Prince can do about it. He's going for integrated support, and once he gets that, it's going to be a huge bonus to his troops, but we'll see if he can get it that quickly. It's definitely a good question here. So Bitburg is under attack by Prussian Prince. He might end up taking that, which is going to be very, very good for him, because there are very few divisions defending it. But look at how many divisions there are in Brussels. There's no way that Prussian Prince can push that anytime soon. And as I was saying, it's a nice base from which to attack from, which, you know, Baddo Spirito was using earlier. And now finally Baddo Spirito has the next artillery, and once he deploys the new artillery, that is when things are going to get really, really, really unfortunate for Prussian Prince, to say the least. So right now, we can also see a huge mistake made by Prussian Prince here. He did not have the new econ law, so he's been very busy microing, which means that he missed out on the econ law. And here we have Baddo Spirito setting up his airplanes and sending them into the fray in the Brussels, which is very, very good. Once he has the close air support there, what's that gonna mean is his units will be so much better, and the close air support will wreck the units of Prussian Prince. Also, he did get infantry expert on a general, so that is very good. It's also assigning more generals right now, which is basically what you should be doing, for sure. Somehow, yeah, this is interesting. Oh, yeah, looks like he is reassigning generals in different places, but shouldn't be doing it. Well, I mean, he does have some time to do it right now, but it could be dangerous, as actually he looks like he did lose some tiles, if I see that correctly, in the north. So Baddo Spirito has to be a little bit careful now. He is getting more of these forwards, or not actually. Looks like he is canceling the line, and he might end up switching his template. He has missing artillery, so that is one thing to keep in mind. And now we have Prussian Prince attacking forest tiles. Might be able to take them because there's a lot of org issues on the side of Baddo Spirito over there, and he is checking out the casualties. Again, he's lost a lot more than Baddo Spirito, which is really what you would be expecting with these templates, honestly. But again, you can see the air support coming in for Baddo Spirito, and his units will just be more and more efficient, especially as now he has close air support, and that's just not going to be good for Prussian Prince at all. So he is going to be pushing into Ghent, and of course he will take it because he has elite troops, and Prussian Prince has some low orc troops there in Ghent. Also is not actually covering the whole combat with, and there we go. But Prussian Prince did push into Leuven, interestingly enough. That's going to be a short-lived push. He might also get surrounded if he's not careful in Namur. If Baddo Spirito does attempt to try that. Not entirely sure why he's not trying to attack it from Liège, because if he does, it's going to be very good if he gets that surround. And right now, Prussian Prince is trying to surround Baddo Spirito, but he's not able to attack with enough troops to make that count. And more importantly, he cannot attack from the right of that, because there are just not enough troops. And those troops there are already being attacked from Saarbrücken. And here comes Baddo Spirito with an attack into Metz right now with 20 divisions. So that is an excellent move by Baddo, causing multiple combat to Prussian Prince. However, Brussels is not looking good for Baddo Spirito right now. He has to definitely reinforce it potentially, because it has some low org there. Definitely not something that Baddo wants to do, which that is lose Brussels. He has to defend it, and he's not sending more troops right now into it. That's definitely not a very good thing. It's absolutely not a good thing. And here comes Prussian Prince still attacking into Brussels, so Baddo Spirito needs to fix it. What's Prussian Prince going to go for now? Looks like the next level of dispersed industry. Not a good choice. I mean, not a bad choice, but there might have been better options potentially. And Prussian Prince did actually get Brussels, which is a huge move for him. We'll see if Baddo Spirito can pull it back there, but that might be a little bit rough for Baddo Spirito to take back. He should not have lost it after taking it, though. He definitely was not reinforcing it properly, and he should retake it, though. But definitely some mistakes were made there. However, Baddo Spirito is currently focusing in the south, and that is where he's having a lot more success. Though, you know, the fact that he's not looked so much in the north has meant that Prussian Prince could push it. And that's not bad for Prussian Prince, but again, Baddo Spirito has switched his attention to the north, so now he should be able to get Brussels back. He pushed the next tile, and if he starts pushing to the south, yeah, he looks like there's enough cast supporting Baddo. And here comes Prussian Prince with a cheeky potential encirclement here. We'll see if he can pull it off. There are definitely some divisions there, but we'll see. And again, Baddo is managing to push on through here, and that might not be a very bad situation for him at all, because I mean, normally when you push, there's the risk of getting encircled, but he does have enough troops to cover his back here, as you can see, and he is moving troops back as well. So very good moves by Baddo Spirito here, and Baddo Spirito has actually retaken Brussels as well. And finally, Prussian Prince does have 39 artillery, and he switched his production to it, but he doesn't have enough factories on artillery, and he switched them later than Baddo Spirito as well. So that is what's causing Prussian Prince some issues for sure. But right now, it's just look at the industry difference right now. Prussian Prince is looking at it, and you can see that Baddo Spirito has a lot more military factories than Prussian Prince, partially due to the fact that Prussian Prince actually forgot his economy law. He did not actually change it, and also Prussian Prince is currently on 0 manpower. Not the same thing for Baddo Spirito, though. As you can see, he still has around 200,000 in the tank, and he's about to complete a massive encirclement in Sedan. We'll see if he can actually do it, though. Does Prussian Prince see it, though? We'll see. I mean, I think Prussian Prince is seeing it, and he's sending reinforcements, but Baddo's troops are just way better, and now Baddo has switched closer support, and he's putting them over on northern France, which is going to mean that it's going to be so much harder for Prussian Prince to actually hold troops. See, he is trying to tie down some of Baddo's troops here, and he's trying to retreat, but retreating from there is going to be kind of difficult. And if he retreats from there, though, he's going to lose a lot of land and a lot of industry. And unfortunately for Prussian Prince, he's going to get surrounded there, and that is not going to be good for Prussian Prince. And unfortunately for him as well, his general also gets wounded at the same time. So this is the worst time for his general to get wounded. You can see that Baddo Spirito is now on the hunt. He is pushing very hard all across the front line. He's going to potentially go for another encirclement here, and he's going through again. He might get 2 big encirclements here. If that's the case, there is going to be a huge issue for Prussian Prince to deal with this. All across the line there are issues, and it looks like Prussian Prince is able to retreat from one of those encirclements, but the other encirclement is not going to be good. Baddo Spirito is going for some construction effort, which is fine. And he's also starting to produce some of these fighters. Not a bad choice at all. He's going to be trading with the neutral trader as well, because he has some issues with resources. But with the last attack by Baddo Spirito, he has actually gained so much land, and he's killed off a lot of troops by Prussian Prince, and that means that Prussian Prince is having a lot of issues right now. He only has 140 divisions. Granted, a lot of them are now 10-wits, but it's just not good enough. So he's finally actually switched off his economy law, but it's a little bit too late. It's actually over a year late in terms of switching economy law, so that's definitely not a good thing. And as you can see in the north, actually Prussian Prince is getting surrounded by some good moves by Baddo there. And Baddo is going to continue pushing here with his stacks of 20, and once he keeps doing that, then things are going to be really bad for Prussian Prince. You can see that Baddo Spirito is again, he might get even another encirclement here. We'll see if he is able to get that. And indeed, he's going to surround 14 troops. Paris is under attack right now, and there goes Paris. Baddo is managing to take it. However, Prussian Prince is able to retreat with some of his troops. But Baddo is now definitely starting to snake with a lot of units. We'll see if he can... well, he should be able to finish off these encirclements here. Baddo Spirito is doing exceptionally well in these situations. He's also going to be wiping some of those divisions that he's left behind. And right now, Prussian Prince doesn't have much left. He is desperately trying to hold on, but he just does not have that many units left. You can see he's down to 120. A lot of these are actually in the encirclements, and he does not have anything covering the rear of his country. So that is not very good right now. You can see he's down to 80 troops, 79 to be exact, and he's going to lose even more. And this is very, very dire for Prussian Prince. And there goes the peace treaty. So Baddo Spirito is going to end up taking this match. He annexes Prussian Prince and takes him out of the tournament. Very nice victory here for Baddo Spirito. Thank you all for watching.